everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you're already subscribed here. We're gonna be feeding some animals today. So as a lot of you guys know who are already familiar with my channel, I have a lot of animals. You know, I have quite a few. And for those of you who are not familiar with my channels, I have a lot of animals. I have quite a few. Welcome. When you own animals, in my opinion, one of the most important things regarding their care is their diet. Obviously, when you have pets, you gotta feed them, and I have a lot of mouths to feed. To feed my animals a nice diet. Pretty simple, I guess. I don't know. I did do one of these videos a little while back. It was like, honestly, 8 months ago or something that I did it, but for some reason it literally feels like 3 months ago. It doesn't feel as long as it has been, but it's honestly been quite a while. So yeah, I thought I would do it again. I have some new animals since the last time I did this, so I thought it would be interesting, and honestly it's just always fun to do an updated one of these videos. It's always cool to see how my diets change or whatever. I don't know, I'm just rambling, ignore me. Anyways, but I think the first animals I'm going to go and feed are my carpet chameleon and my veiled chameleon, and then we will move on to the other creatures. Now, all of my animals don't eat on the same day. Like, a lot of my animals only eat once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, every day, whatever. So everything that you see in this video is not actually being filmed right now. Like, I don't just feed all my animals at once every single night because they have different needs. So we're gonna go ahead and start with feeding these guys. So the first animal that I feed is going to be my carpet chameleon, who is in this cage right here. And he mainly eats cricket, which I have in here. This is my cricket keeper. So feeding him is relatively simple. I take one of the tubes out of the cricket keeper, then there's some crickets in here, and then I add whatever supplement I'm going to be using on this day. I do rotate my supplements. For today's feeding, we are going to be using this Reptile calcium, which is a calcium powder without D3. So I just open it up and sprinkle a little bit into the tube. Then I cover the tube off with my hand, shake it, which then coats all the crickets with calcium, and then we can feed it. Wow, a concept. He's going to eat. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to go and open up his cage here. Just swing that open, and then I will shake the crickets out. And there they go. He will see them as soon, and he will start to hunt them. You can't really see him on camera, but he is right up there. So yeah, that's really all of the feeding that needs to be done with my carpet chameleon. This here is my veiled chameleon's cage right behind me. This cage is kind of like incredibly massive. For those of you who aren't familiar, this cage measures 3 feet wide by 3 feet deep by 6 feet tall, so it's really big. Like, it's as big as like a walk-in shower. So anyways, it's big. So I feed my veiled chameleon in multiple different ways. Sometimes I will free range crickets in his cage, and then sometimes I will also place things like worms in this bowl right here. For today, I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of both. I'm going to free roam a few crickets in his cage, let him hunt the crickets, and I'm going to be placing some worms in his dish. So once again, the exact same as my carpet chameleon, I'm taking my tube of crickets, there's some calcium powder in here, and I'm just going to shake it out, and then the crickets go, and he will find them eventually. Now, the second thing that he's going to be getting are some big, giant hornworms. These hornworms are really big. Like, I don't know, they're just really big. Bring the camera a little closer here. Going to go ahead and stick the hornworms in his food dish, plop them in there, and then I will go and shake some calcium powder on top of the worms, and that is how I feed my veiled chameleon. So now we will go ahead and shut his cage and let him eat. So one of the things that my blue-tongued skinks eat is this instinct raw dog food. So I have both the, which one is this? The chicken recipe, and I have the beef recipe here. So I'm going to take a little bit of both and just place it on this plate here to thaw out. So the raw food that I left for my skink is all thawed out now. I went ahead and added some veggies into it. So there's some leafy greens, some peas, and some carrot for today. I'm going to go ahead and add that into a bowl, and then on top of all of this, she also gets insects. Okay, so that is my blue-tongued skink's meal. So this currently consists of the raw dog food, some leafy greens, carrots, peas, superworms, butterworms, waxworms, mealworms, and mealworm larvae, and black soldier fly larvae. So on top of the food, I always add some sort of supplement in, and for today I'm going to be using calcium with D3. So now it is all ready for Bella to eat, so we will go and feed it to her. Hello Bella, are you ready for some food? She's just over here sticking her head out. How's your food? Is it good? Yum. Yeah, is it good? You're sticking your tongue out because it tastes so good? You have veggies on your face. What do you do? Oh my god, you're such a messy eater. Oh. You have food all over your face. So this cage here belongs to Mark, who is my standing stay gecko. So to feed him, he actually gets two things. He gets some Pangea and he gets crickets. I have some crickets here dusted in calcium, and then I'm going to throw out his old Pangea cup and get a new one. So I have his food all mixed up. I'm going to open up his cage and I just place it right on this little ledge right here. And then I'm also going to shake all of the crickets out in there. And now that is how I feed Mark. So this here is my rabbit's salad. So there is more on this plate and then this plate because this one is feeding 2 rabbits and this one is only feeding 1 rabbit. But for today's salad, there is some romaine lettuce, green leaf lettuce, some red leaf lettuce, some red kale, a tiny bit of spinach, and then I also have given them a little bit of carrot, and that is what their salads consist of today. So on top of their salads, they also get some pellets. Each rabbit gets 1/4 cup a day. One bowl will get 1 scoop, and then the other bowl will get 2 scoops. And then, of course, on top of their salad and their veggies, rabbits need like 24/7 access to hay. So for their hay, I use the Oxbow Western Timothy hay and make sure they all have enough hay. This cage here belongs to my Chubby frog sandwich. He's actually underneath this piece of cork right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out for a minute so we can see him. And there he is, their sandwich. I literally love this frog so much. I got him a couple months back and it was like the best decision I've ever made. I literally adore this frog. Anyways, we're going to feed him now. So Sandwich eats a variety of different foods. He likes a lot of different insects and I typically change it up every time I feed him. But specifically today we are going to be feeding him some black soldier fly larvae. So I have this bowl here. I'll just like place it down in his cage. There is Derek's cage here, and I actually see Derek on this branch right here, so we can take him out for a little look. There's Derek. It will focus on him. There he is, my gargoyle gecko. Oh, there you go. And I will take out your old food ledge and give you a new one. And there you go. I'm going to take out the old cup and replace it with the very full new cup. Here's Dorito. There's Dorito. He's just doing his thing. He's gotten so big lately. I feel like when I first got him, he didn't grow for a while and then he just had a big growth spurt and now he's getting so big. There you go. You can go back in your cage now. So here we have my Pacman frog and we're going to be feeding him a nice hornworm. So I'm going to take a hornworm out and I'm gonna go and cover it with some calcium powder and then we will be feeding him. So here we have Daisy, who's my African fat-tailed gecko. So Daisy tends to go through food phases. It's kind of funny. She's a really picky eater, and she goes through phases where she only likes certain foods. Sometimes she'll only want mealworms, sometimes she only wants black soldier fly larvae, and right now she's in her cricket phase, so crickets for her it is. And right down here is Pepper, who's my leopard gecko. Anyways, I'm going to place her down and grab her food dish so that I can get her worms. Okay, so I went and I put some worms in her food dish. So she has 3 super worms and 3 black soldier fly larvae in here. So I'm just going to take the dish and set it down in her cage, and then she will come and eat them when she wants. So right behind me here in this cage, right here, is my Asian forest scorpion. He has not yet been introduced onto my channel, so I guess this is kind of his formal introduction. This here is my Asian forest scorpion, who does not yet have a name, but you probably will not see him at all in this video, unfortunately. So here in his cage, he has some PVC tunnels buried in eco-earth, and with those tunnels, he has actually made like a whole burrow system underground. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. That's my Asian forest scorpion that you can actually see. Good pet introduction. I know, I'm awesome. So right out here we have my 4 Helix aspersa snails. They're all different sizes. I mean, this is the biggest one here, and this is the little tiniest one there, and surprisingly they were all born on the same day. Obviously I don't feed them just on this counter. They get fed in their enclosure usually, but I wanted to get some nice snail shots, so here's some nice snail shots. So some of the animals that I own include snakes. As of right now, I do have 11 snakes, and obviously they all need to eat, and snakes eat rodents. So I just want to put this little disclaimer out there for anyone who does not want to watch it. If you do not want to see snake feedings, you can skip ahead to this time. I will put it on the screen. You can skip to this time. But I have something else to say. So apparently YouTube doesn't like snake feedings, even if it's frozen, even if you put a warning, whatever, because my last feeding video, which included a warning, a big warning actually, I had a really long warning, and they were all frozen and whatever. YouTube doesn't like snake feedings because my last feeding video got age restricted, which means no one under 18 can watch the video, and it got demonetized, and I don't want that to happen again. There were people who commented on my other video saying they were really sad that they couldn't watch it because it was age restricted, and unfortunately I can't control that. I'm gonna try my best to not have that happen again, so we're gonna have to do some fun editing. So unfortunately, if you don't like this fun creative editing I came with, I apologize. I wish I could like just show the feedings, but apparently I can't do that without getting age restricted and demonetized. So instead of feeding my snakes mice, they're going to be getting french fries and donuts and spaghetti and ice cream and whatever. Not actually, it's all editing. But I'm going to go ahead and feed my snakes now. If you want to not see it, skip to this time, and now we will get into it. Okay, the first snake that we're feeding lives in this exoterra here, and the snake is actually my Amazon tree boa, and she's actually in this very back corner there. Okay, so those are the only 3 snakes that I have out here in the living room. So now we are going to move on from these guys and head on into the reptile room. So here in the reptile room, I have an entire shelving thing of exoterras. There's 9 cages total, but as of right now, only 8 of them have, or not 8, only 7 of them have snakes in them. This very bottom cage here is empty, and then this middle cage here is also empty, but it is actually reserved for one of my snakes who will be going in it shortly, but we will talk about that a little more in a bit. But as of right now, we're going to be feeding the 7 snakes who are currently in here. And this cage here belongs to my sand boa. If I don't see him already sticking his head out, then I don't bother digging for him. I just go and I place his food right on a leaf or something, and then he'll typically always come exploring in the nighttime, like once the lights go out. So typically whenever I just leave his food there, he will have eaten it by the next morning, and if for some reason he doesn't, I just take it and throw it out. But that's what I do to feed my sand boa. I just leave the fuzzy right in there, and then he comes and eats it sometime during the night. So Rocky in here, who is my milk snake, will not eat from tongs, literally no matter what. So I just take his mouse and I set it in there, and he will come and eat it. But it's easy enough. I literally just place his mouse there and then he will come and eat it. So now my snake that I'm about to show you, he was previously named Medusa. He actually does have a new name, but I haven't announced it yet, and I do plan on announcing it in a specific video, so I don't want to give it away. So we're just gonna go back to Medusa right now and call him Medusa. Yes, I know. Anyway, so some of you may or not know the story with Medusa, but basically Medusa is a ball python that I rescued a couple months back. Okay, so this cage here belongs to Medusa, who I was just talking about. So as I mentioned before, this is only like a temporary cage until he is ready to move into the exoterras, because he does have one of the exoterras kind of reserved for him. But in the meantime, he is in this cage here, and we're gonna feed him. I don't know what else to say. So right here we have my 75-gallon Reef tank. The tank currently only has 4 fish in it. I mean, you can see 3 of them here. I have my pair of phantom clownfish, and I have my canary wrasse, and there's also a purple firefish in this tank. He typically like hides in the rocks, and sometimes he'll come out, sometimes he just stays hiding, so we may or may not see him. Honestly, probably won't, but he's in there. And then as well as my fish, I have different corals throughout the tank. So today I'm going to be feeding them some frozen mysis shrimp. So I'll close that, take this out. Then I usually just take a little mug and I will take the shrimp and pop a cube in there, and then I'll add some tank water to this to thaw it out. And on top of feeding the fish, I also feed the corals in the tank. I don't do this every single day like I do for my fish. I usually only feed the corals once, maybe twice a week, but when I do feed them, I give them some reef roids. All of the mysis shrimp have thawed out now, so I'm just going to take this cup and then dump it into the tank, and the fish will go crazy over it. So now after my reef tank, I also have my goldfish tank here, and it's been so long since I talked about my goldfish, but they're doing so well. They've gotten so big. I know it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but they've gotten so much bigger than what they used to be. I feed all of my fish a variety of foods, like even my saltwater tank. They all get different things, and today I'm going to be using these omega-1 goldfish pellets. These are the sinking pellets for my goldfish, so I'm gonna go ahead and just add a few of them in here. They tend to kind of sink to the bottom before the goldfish really notice them. There they go. But they do, I mean, they'll go through the sand and pick them all out then, so nothing I'm worried about. So here is my hedgehog's food bowl, and now my hedgehog eats some high quality cat foods. There's a few different foods in this mix, but I usually just take a little scoop, add in some cat food, and then along with the cat food, I also add in some insects. Hedgehogs typically eat a lot of insects in the wild, so personally I believe that insects are a very important part of their diet. Okay, so there's my hedgehog's food all done. So now I'm going to move on to my Syrian hamster's foods. So once again, I just grab a scoop out of their mix and place it in their bowls. I do also give my hamsters some other foods such as like veggies and occasional fruits for treats, but I don't do that every single day. And today happens to not be veggie day, so today they're only getting their main seed mixes. And now this bowl belongs to Henry, my dwarf hamster. So once again, I just take a little scoop, place it in there, and that's his food for the day. And then here I have the 3 bowls of mouse food, so I'll grab the mouse food, and then I typically put a scoop in each one. And there they go. So Pumpkin is still in his hide over there sleeping. He hasn't woken up for the night yet, so I'm just going to place his food bowl right there, and then he will come out and get it. And now here we have Spice's bowl, so her bowl will go right over here in that corner. So here we have my hedgehog's chips food. This is his cage here. He sleeps underneath of his wheel. I know his wheel's kind of poopy. Hedgehogs are really, really messy animals, so his wheel gets cleaned regularly, but it doesn't stop it from getting poopy every single day, so yeah. And by the way, if you are possibly wondering why his cage is so tiny, I actually have an entire video dedicated to that, so I'm not going to give a big long explanation, but basically I am aware his cage is small. He does have some health issues and everything like that, and because of his health issues, he doesn't tend to do very well in big cages, so he does live in this smaller cage, but it is what is best for him based on his current situation. So this is his cage. He does really well in it, and there's his food. And now there is Henry's food, so I'm just going to place Henry's food bowl right down there, and I can actually see Henry sticking his head up over here. There we go. Henry came out to say hello. He's probably looking for his food, so I'll go and place him in his food bowl. So now here is the food for the mice. Their bin is just down here, so I'll just slide that out and then place their food bowls in it. I've now gone and placed their food dishes throughout the cage. There's one over there, right there, and then one over on this side as well. So right here are my 2 tarantulas. This cage here belongs to my pink toe, and then this one over here belongs to my red rump. My red rump tarantula is named Lucas, and my pink toe tarantula is Cinderella. So Cinderella is quite shy and she doesn't eat from tongs or anything like that, so I'm just going to place a few crickets in there, and then she typically just hunts them on her own. She's really good about hunting, so I don't really worry about it. I'll place them. I'll probably just give her 2. So there she goes. There's now 2 tarantulas, or there's now 2 crickets in there for her to hunt. I don't know how well you can really see her, but that's her hanging up right there. But anyways, that is how I feed her. And then Lucas over here is actually not going to be getting fed today. He just went through a molt, like literally I just found his molt this morning, and I don't like to feed my tarantulas directly after a molt. I typically like to wait a few days, so unfortunately he will not be getting fed in this video today, but if I were feeding him, I would just give him a cricket. Alright guys, that was it for my feeding video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. Making these videos, there's a lot of work, it takes a lot of time, but it is super fun, so I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, because like I said, it's a lot of fun making these videos. When you have a lot of animals like I do, feeding them can be a lot of work, but obviously it is something necessary, and honestly it's something I enjoy. I truly do enjoy giving my animals nice diets, so not complaining. Putting it out there that it totally can be a lot of work. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to subscribe. I would love to have you guys here. Don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up, comment down below, do all that stuff, whatever you want to do. Also check out all of my social media. Everything is EmmaSam99, but it will be down in the description below. I'm getting close to 10,000 followers on Instagram, so I would love to have you guys join. I would love to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. I think that would be awesome, so would love to have you guys there. Once again though, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.